In this session, we're going to focus on forgiveness. That includes forgiving yourself as well as forgiving others. If you're watching this, then you probably know that holding on to those old negative feelings is holding you back. It is hurting you. It is adversely affecting the quality of your life. You may also be aware that holding on to resentment is a toxic mindset and it's a toxic energy. So we want to release all of that old pain and all of that old resentment, again, both internalized and pointed at ourselves as well as externalized and directed at others. So as we begin this session, I want you to start with an intention. And let's clarify that this is not saying that what someone else has done that has hurt you is acceptable or okay, or that we are endorsing that type of behavior, whether it's within ourselves or within another. What we need to acknowledge here is that this process of forgiveness means we're setting ourselves free from the self imprisonment that those negative emotions create in our heart, in our mind, in our life. When we set ourselves free, we still are cognizant of what's right and wrong, what's appropriate versus inappropriate. In fact, it actually allows us to be more empowered moving forward. It does not mean that we are going to default to such behaviors or that we are going to be a doormat for others to treat us in those unkind or unfair ways. To the contrary, when we release this negative energy, if you know anything about the law of attraction, then you understand that by releasing and letting that go, you're no longer a vibrational match to creating those types of experiences. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into this. We could have a discussion on karma and why it's important to release and let this energy go. Right now, what we want is just simply to have the experience of forgiveness. So now that you've set your intention, to just simply allow yourself to experience this release, to allow yourself to surrender those negative old feelings, and to allow yourself to be healed. Now that that intention is set, let's go ahead and begin this process. Now, to begin, what I would like for you to do is allow yourself to get very comfortable. You can sit, you can lie down, you can do whatever feels appropriate for you. It can be very beneficial to close your eyes. I recommend it, but it is optional. And we're going to start by taking a couple of nice deep cleansing breaths. Again, this is all about aligning with those intentions. This is not a forceful process. This is a process of surrendering and allowing. This is a deeply healing process. So as you breathe now, start to breathe in that feeling of willingness. That willingness to surrender, that willingness to release and let go, that willingness to set yourself and others free. When you exhale, allowing yourself to breathe out, releasing and letting go of any of those old, heavy emotions, any feelings that arise. We're simply allowing them to come up, to pass through, to breathe it out, to release and let it go. Now, as you are mindful of the sensations that arise within you, as well as the stream of consciousness, meaning your thoughts, your awareness of your thoughts, your awareness of your emotions. Be an observer of those things. Do not repress them. Do not try to push them away. Simply just observe. Yes, you may feel some of those emotions. You may even feel a little bit of that old emotional pain. In that state of mindful observation, giving yourself permission to simply allow it to pass through. Now, the subject of forgiveness, that's a big subject. We all hold a great deal of guilt and shame, and in many cases, resentment. When I say the word forgiveness, notice what comes up for you. Remember, you are the observer of your thoughts, your emotions, and the sensations that you're experiencing physically. Let it come up now. And just maintain that willingness to allow all thoughts and all feelings to pass through. You can see those memories, those experiences of the past with a greater sense of objectivity. And we are fully and completely acknowledging that the pain that you felt was real. You felt real hurt, maybe real fear. But now it's time to release and let that go, to set yourself free. Remember, we're not making the injustice acceptable. We're simply acknowledging it's time to release the old feelings. It is time to make peace with the past. Are you willing to let those feelings come up and allow them to pass through? Breathing through it. And sometimes we can only release a little bit of that energy, and that's okay. Remembering that the subconscious mind will always let go of a little bit, even if it's holding on to strong fear or is very attached to an old story, an old pattern, an old behavior. The subconscious mind will always, every time, 100% of the time, release and let go of a little bit of that energy. So can you give yourself permission to let go of a little bit, just a little bit? To say yes to allowing that feeling to come up and allowing it to pass through, releasing and letting it go. So allow some of those thoughts now to rise up, coming into your conscious awareness. Areas where you're still holding resentment, anger, hurt, maybe guilt or shame. And are you willing to allow that to pass through? It is what it is. You cannot change the past, but it does not serve you to hold on to those disempowering feelings. Are you willing to let it come up, let it pass through, breathe it out, release, and let it go? Pull up some more of that old feeling where you're holding on. What is it time to forgive? to release and let go. What old emotional wounds have you been holding on to that you're ready and willing to forgive yourself and others? Every experience, we have the ability to choose how we will perceive, how we will process any given experience, no matter how bad it may be. Can you give yourself permission to now process that experience in a different way, a better way, a more empowering way? Allow the feelings to come up. Acknowledge it is what it is. I felt the way that I felt, and I'm willing to let it come up and let it pass through, processing it out, releasing and letting it go. Now, when we are working on some of these deeper challenges, you may reach a point where you feel a strong anger. It may even feel like an unwillingness to forgive, whether that's forgiving yourself or forgiving someone else. Acknowledge it. It is what it is. I feel this resistance to letting this go. And make peace with the fact that a part of you is still holding on to the anger. And in so doing, breathe through it. And what you'll notice is the energy will leave. And you'll allow that feeling to process out, witnessing the emotions, breathing through it, entering that state of willingness to release and let it go, and just observing all of the emotions that come up and breathing through it, releasing and letting it go. Notice that when we experience anger, we are not in a state of forgiving. We are stuck in that energy. We've become a prisoner of our own mind. Are you willing now to begin to release and let go of the anger? Let it come up. Let it pass through. Breathing it out, releasing and letting it go. Now, at this stage, I'm going to ask you to continue. And ask you to be very honest with yourself about what you're still holding on to and going through this process of just simply acknowledging and processing out. Now, you may notice that this has been a very helpful session for you, but there's still more work to do. That is natural, that is normal, it is completely natural and normal. So giving yourself permission as you're going through your day-to-day life, when you notice anger, to process it out. When you notice resentment, to process it out. When you notice self-blame or self-shame, to process it out. Just keep releasing and letting it all go. Little by little, setting yourself more and more and more free. Now, just like any type of releasing process, when you feel a sense of completion, even though it likely will not all be gone, that's okay. When you feel a sense of completion, a sense of inner peace comes over you, or you just simply feel like it's time to stop, stop. Stop the process, shift into a different mindset, a different energy. Go for a walk, drink some water, nurture yourself, give yourself some love, some self-care. And when you're ready to resume this releasing process, remember you can do it throughout your day on little things that come up or big things. And you can always revisit this video, this exercise, at a later point in time when you're ready to do some more of that deeper work. So for now, we're going to end this particular video, but you are welcome to stay in this releasing and keep working on your old stuff until you feel that sense of completion. And until next time, I will see you in another video.